Welcome to episode 1 of QT with the pod. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It means so much to me. My name's Quenisha. I am that QT who hosts this podcast. So I've been wanting to do this for a very, very long time. I've been talking about it, thinking about it, writing it down. I've just been doing all that. So I've finally decided to get it together and start recording this podcast. I'm super excited. I have a lot of plans. Me and my friends are gonna come in here and talk. And the reason I wanted to start this podcast because my friends and I have some of the best conversations. And I feel like everyone should hear those. And this isn't like a self-help podcast. I'm not going to give you advice on how to live your life because everyone is living and walking their own path. But I think it's really helpful to hear from different experiences on different topics, especially things that aren't talked about as often in podcasts. These are things that I feel like I want to talk about, but I can't find a podcast that talks about it in the way or dissects it the way I feel is beneficial. So we are going to jump into episode 1. Our first episode is about things my mom did not teach me. So when I started thinking about this topic, and I told my friend about it, one of my friends about it, she very much took it in a negative way. She was like, oh, you're gonna talk about your mom? And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about my mama. And I think that I know I'm not talking about this from a negative space or speaking from a place of lack, because I believe my mother did a phenomenal job with me. I know she did. So for me to just say, hey, these are things that you did not teach me growing up, I don't think that that's bashing her parenting style in any sort of fashion, because realistically, parents cannot teach you every single thing you need to thrive as an adult, especially like with millennials. Like literally the things we have today, our parents had no idea that this would be a thing when they were raising us. So no, my mom couldn't have prepared me for how to swipe on the dating apps or how to even like go to college. That's not something my mom did. So she couldn't tell me how to actually navigate through college, a predominantly white institute, because that wasn't her reality. That wasn't something she had done before she had me. So just think about it from that perspective. I'm not saying my mom didn't teach me these things, therefore my life sucked. More so, my mom didn't teach me these things and I had to learn them, or these are some things my mom did unintentionally and I fixed it. All right, let's jump into our list. So I have 3 things that I'm going to talk about. So 1, my mom did not teach me how to date. So when I'm talking about dating, I'm talking about dating. So just to give you some background, from my household, I was not allowed to like boys, even though it's natural. But my mom was like, "No, that's not a thing, sis. You go to school to learn, not to talk to boys." But of course, we talk to boys. Everyone's had that secret boyfriend in school, right? Or is it just me? But of course, we talk to boys, and I feel like because I had to sneak and talk to boys for so long, it made it difficult for me to be open. Well, I know it made it difficult for me to be open with my mom about boys as an adult, because right now, as a 27-year-old, I'm still like, do I tell my mom that I'm going on a date, or do I tell her after the 3rd date? So these are things that I still question. But just being open and comfortable and feeling like I'm not doing anything wrong. So that's number 1. How to date boys. So never could talk about boys. Never. I was allowed to have a boyfriend when I was in high school. I had one, and she did a lot. Well, My mom allowed me to openly have one with her, and she was pretty cool about it. I think at that point she was like, "Oh, I think I have to like release her at some point." So when I learned that my mom didn't teach me how to date was definitely as an adult when I got out of my last long-term relationship, and I was like, I haven't dated anyone. And I hadn't dated anyone because typically the way my relationships worked were I met this boy and we start talking. Like, there's this instant attraction, of course. And we start talking and things progress, feelings get involved. And then it's like, okay, boom, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I'm like, yeah, like that's what we've been doing. It wasn't like, all right, I meet a boy, we have that instant attraction. All right, let me chill on him. Let me find another boy and talk to him and get to know him. That it's honestly a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm doing it right now, and it's a lot of work to date multiple guys at one time. Like, you lose track of your conversations, you lose track of what you've told them. You're just like, sis, you have to work hard. Like, it's a lot of work, but I like it because I like a good challenge. I like a puzzle because that's literally what it is. So how to vet a guy is something, that's included in dating. Like, what are the red flags I should be looking for? And I learned about red flags that I should be looking for as I dated, or I guess got into relationships with guys. I was like, yeah, next time I don't want this in a boyfriend. I actually really hate this, or wow, this is something I really like. This is a trait that I want in a guy, because we learn through experiences, or at least I do. I learn through experiencing things. I need to fall on my knees to know, all right, don't run that fast around that corner next time. I have to. So yeah, did not teach me how to date. I learned how to do it, and I don't think she knew how to date. So again, I don't think she knew how to date. And the reason I say I don't think she dated was because, I mean, she did the she did the same thing I did. Like, she met a guy, fell in love, and was with him. So yeah, that's that on that. All right, number two, and I think this one was the most this one affected me the most. So this isn't something that I was like, oh, I just got to learn how to do it. This was something I had to go and work on myself with. And all right. So she did not teach me that mistakes are normal and necessary for growth. So I remember when I was doing my homework, just doing my homework at my kitchen table, and your mom helps you with your homework. And if I made a mistake on my homework or anything, I was not allowed to erase it. Instead, my mom had me start over. And she did that because, one, she said it made the paper look ugly. And two, if I make a mistake, then I don't know how to do it the right way. So I'm sure you can imagine how that translates to life as you grow and progress. That one really affected me because I was afraid to do things. I was afraid to step outside of the bubble because I didn't want to take a risk. I didn't want to possibly do something wrong. I didn't want to, I didn't want to not be right. So that kept me in a bubble for so long. I didn't believe in myself really. And I mean, as time went on and I graduated from college, and I was like, okay, that's a pretty big thing. Like, you took a risk. I went to a PWI. I basically went to the other side of the country. So if I did that, what can't I do? So slowly but surely, like, I built up my self-esteem and was like, sis, you got this. You can do anything. And yeah, I got better with that. Now, I don't think my mom was thinking, I'm about to break this girl down. She's about to not believe in herself. I know she had great intentions. I don't think she understood the long-term impact of it. And she still probably doesn't, because she herself is a perfectionist. So whenever I'm around her and I make a mistake, I'm like, oh, whoopsie daisy. I will fix it. But when she makes a mistake, she's like, no, I can't do that again. I can't believe I did that. Like, she's in disbelief. And I mean, that's just who she is. That's not who I am. And that's not who I'm going to be. So, as a result of that, I've definitely come to fully embrace all of my mistakes because without mistakes, you wouldn't learn from them. So, again, experience is the key here. So, even like thinking to tie that back to the relationship thing, if you don't date different guys or even get into relationships with different guys, you will never know what you like or don't like in a relationship with someone. I think it's very rare that someone never interacts with the opposite sex and then their first relationship is it's perfect. It's either one, you don't even know what you really want, so this is what you're accepting, or two, that's you're just happy living in a lie. So yeah, perfect. All right, and then number three, um my mom never taught me how to settle. And this is sometimes good in my life or it's sometimes bad because I'm always wanting to do better than the last time. And I guess this is connected to it's kind of connected to the last one with mistakes, but it was literally like you did this last time, next time you have to take it a step further. You can never be complacent. And I mean, I was never, again, just thinking back to my childhood, I never like settled down or just watched TV all the time. I was always doing some type of math work or reading a book, trying to figure out, all right, like, how can I get better? And even as an adult now, when I get feedback at work, I'm always like, okay, I don't even look at the positive. I don't. I don't look at the positive, and I hate that about myself. And I want to get better at it. I want to get better at congratulating myself and celebrating like everything. But instead, I always go straight for the negative. I'm like, okay, this is what I did wrong. Okay, thank you. So I know next semester I need to do this and this and this to be better. So never settling. Again, that can be positive or negative. So those are the three things my mom didn't teach me, that she did not teach me. Just to recap, my mom did not teach me how to date. My mom did not teach me that mistakes are normal and necessary for growth. And my mom did not teach me to settle. Okay. So I would love to hear what are some things your mom didn't teach you or things your mom did teach you that you feel like made you a better person. I am going to post a picture on my Instagram to go along with this episode. Go under there, comment on that picture, let me know, tell me you're from the podcast because I'm excited. I'm excited to reach out, get to know different people, learn different stories. Hopefully this I want this to blow up. I want this to blow up. You guys don't understand. So thank you for tuning in to episode 1. Episode 2 is going to be fun. We're going to have a co-host and we'll be having a conversation about toxic male friendships. So make sure you tune in for that one and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.